So just let us know like the audio volume, because usually I'm closer as a single person. I don't usually have two, so we'll just see. I'll try not to lean on the desk too much because it'll pick up everything.
Well, I mean, just in talking right now, that both of you, I think, sound fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me look at the levels here. Keep talking, Sean.
Hello, hello.
That's pretty even. Can you say something?
This is about the level that I'm going to be talking at.
I'm actually looking forward to some of these. This is gonna be fun. Trying to figure out my geeking out as well.
Oh, that's the thing.
Oh, geeking out. Yeah, geeking out. Geeking out. Turn my phone off so it's not. Coming up with more ideas.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
Mario movie comes out next week?
Next
No, a
month.
couple weeks. About 2 or 3 weeks still.
Wait, what date does it come out? The 31st?
That's like early April. April 10th.
What movie comes out?
Creed 3 just came out. Dungeons and Dragons just came out, I think.
Oh, it's a preview weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is an advanced screening on Sunday
I'm actually looking forward to it.
at select theaters. So, if you want to see the advanced screening before it comes out,
Did you guys ever see the original Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out like 20, 25 years ago?
with Jeffrey Irons.
Right.
Yes.
No, not Jeffrey.
Jeremy.
Irons. Yeah.
Right.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
You know what? I didn't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons back then, or really understand role-playing games at that time. But I'm watching the trailer for the new one, and realizing that, you know what, it should be a little bit kind of funny and goofy at times if you think about.
D&D.
Yeah. So I think I might appreciate it more now. I mean, it still might be pretty bad, but
From what I've heard, the reviews that I've seen on social media of advanced screeners of Dungeons and Dragons that went to South by Southwest,
yeah.
they say they say it is fantastic.
Oh, cool.
As a Dungeons and Dragons fan, watching Dungeons and Dragons, that it's fantastic.
I went to a thrift store today, and they had, like in mint condition, the Dungeons and Dragons cookbook for like $3. I should have bought it. I didn't buy it.
Missed opportunity.
I know. Just something else is going to sit on the shelf.
Yeah. There's got to be a recipe in there for gelatinous cubes, right?
What'd you call me?
Yep. You heard me.
Whoops, that was me.
Hey, should we put it out there up front?
It's a PG podcast.
It's a PG podcast.
Sorry.
Oh,
Please,
jeez.
somebody. He just got it. I was just gonna ask if he actually got the joke.
You know, the more time I spend around Wes.
Give it some more time.
You said it. I mean,
No, like
I have no shame.
putting it like the questions. If they want to
oh yeah, I think so.
come up with questions, this or that.
Right. So I'll say it out loud right now, and then I'll actually type it in the chat as well for anything that comes up. So our topic for tonight is going to be pretty fun. It's a simple comparison type topic of like this versus that. So putting two things like pitted up against each other, and we get to say which one we actually prefer. And I'll give you an example: Darkseid or Thanos. So it'll be things like that.
We have to there's going to be clarifications on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they're like obvious.
So like Darkseid in the comics or Darkseid in the movie?
We could do both.
Okay.
And if you have suggestions for that, like similar to this versus that, let us know in the chat, and we'll try to integrate them into the show. Is Donovan still laughing out, putting it out there?
It's just... It's terrible. Like, after all this time, you'd figure I could pick up what he's putting down, but...
Oh, Bill said Wes versus Donovan. Geek Smithing versus Geek Builders.
Yeah, that's right. Geek off.
Geek off, yeah. Phaser versus lightsaber. I think I said wand versus lightsaber, right?
We could do both. I mean, they're all relative. All right. I think I'm ready when you guys are.
All right, got my coughs out. I'm good.
Wes, you set?
Yep.
Okay. You get oddly quiet sometimes, and I'm not sure.
That's just me.
I know. But, all right. What's up, Internet? You're listening to the Making Geeks podcast for makers, families, and geeks.
What's up?
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
How's it going?
Hey.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
Hey. You're here.
You're here.
I'm here.
So for those of you that are not watching the live stream, Donovan's literally sitting beside me right now.
I am. I'm the second other person to be in this frame in the last couple weeks.
And that's the correct use of literally, too. So he is literally in Wes's shop next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So if you're not watching the live stream, you should go ahead and do that. And it's kind of cool seeing everybody a little bit more condensed. So
That's right.
why don't you guys talk about why you're inhabiting the same space?
Secret project?
Secret project? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's it's good. There's a project that Wes and I have been talking about for months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That for months of doing together. And an opportunity arose for us to actually finish this project.
So is that separate than what you guys have been posting about on social, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought so, but I wanted to clarify because if anybody has seen the social post, you guys have been helping to paint something. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that at least, since you can't talk about
we
the
can
other
talk
thing
about
yet.
that.
Yeah, we can talk about that, right?
Yeah.
She's given the okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to talk about that?
Let's do it.
So another reason why I came here to North Carolina is that we are helping to put together a baby room for Penelope, baby Christensen, Nicole and Terry's baby, and so they're doing a Legend of Zelda room, and we spent last night. We were up late painting a mural, or helping to paint the mural on one of their walls in the baby room. And as we were painting, Nicole was sewing Koroks because they're going to do a Korok mobile for the baby crib. And they've got the baby crib, and we just hung out and talked and painted, and it was fantastic. So that was another reason to come, was to help out at Paint the Mural. To say I had my hand in the process of putting that together.
It's coming along.
That's
pretty
cool.
well. Yeah.
That and just hang out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years,
Yeah, it has.
right?
Because the last time I was here was when we had the meetup.
No, it was last year.
Oh, sorry.
Last year.
Last year we did Workbench Con though.
No, but like when we did.
Last time you were here was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 years already?
Yes. In
Crazy,
July.
huh?
In July, yeah.
That hurts my brain because I can't rectify that time difference in my head.
Yeah, because it felt like last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
I wasn't there last June or whatever it was.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the
I'm-
Makes
I'm-
Beats podcast, where we
I'm gonna get a headache now.
existentialism.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It is. Time is not relative right now. Time is missing. So, other than the project you guys are working on, and I'm gonna guess that the stuff behind you might be part of that secret stuff. So,
It's Raspberry
One-
Pi related. I mean, that's not
Right.
really
Yeah,
a
yeah.
secret. Yeah.
yeah. So once again, if you're listening or if you're watching the live stream, you'll get to kind of maybe make some guesses as to what they're up to. Other than that, anything else you guys are up to this week, or have been up to?
We're going to the Dungeons and Dragons screening premiere thing, early access premiere thing that he sent me a message about Sunday.
Sunday. Yep.
So in a
So
couple
this
days.
Sunday, at select theaters around the country, they're doing advanced screening of Dungeons and Dragons to
For like
help-
Amazon Prime members or
Yeah,
something.
for Amazon Prime members.
Weird.
So you have to have an Amazon Prime membership to be able to get tickets to this advanced screening. But most theaters around the country seem to be doing at least one showing on Sunday. So we're
Does Amazon have some sort of stake in the film?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
Oh.
weird. It was like through Atom Events, I think.
Yeah, Axiom or Atom or
Right.
yeah, something like that. You can
Okay.
search it, but anybody that's interested to go watch that, we could all watch it together.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't think I've been up to a whole lot of special stuff. Working on a couple orders for customers. I am currently working on a video for a engraver that I think I talked about last week. But unfortunately, there's an issue with their system. I'll talk about that in the video though. It's in order to use the engraver on the Artura laser, and I might have already mentioned this, you need some additional legs that they don't provide with the engraver or with the laser itself, so you have to buy it separately. So part of the video is going to be me modeling and 3D printing my own set that I could use that I'll offer for anybody that has it. But then I also contacted them and they're sending me out some of the legs anyways, which is which they should have done in the first place. They want me to promote the product, otherwise I can't do the video. Anyways, that's in process. Feel like I'm kind of dragging my feet, but that's primarily what I have going on at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Well, we've got the secret project we're working on. And fighting with. It's one of these projects that it's like, oh yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. And then we actually start working on it, and for some odd reason it's not working like we want it to work.
It's like this infuriating thing where like you follow this tutorial that's like everyone's referencing this one tutorial and no one seems to have any problems with it but me. And I've done this same tutorial, tried to get to work for like a year and a half or something, maybe 2 years, off and on. I keep checking back to see if there's like an update or someone else having the same problem, and it's really frustrating. So I've run into like dead ends all across like Reddit and like
Is it a coding issue
It's
or a component issue?
I think it's a
That's
coding
a
issue.
fantastic question.
But we can't. It's not a hardware issue because I have tried the hardware on multiple ways
yeah,
to verify that it works.
and we've tried multiple components,
Yeah,
so
Have
it's
you
not
tried-
just.
Can you simulate it in Tinkercad, or is that not like a suitable environment?
no.
Okay.
I even tried to use Chat GPT and it's having issues. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, because we noticed something about Chat GPT today is that like if you asked a prompt to write, hey, say, can you write Python code for this with these parameters for this piece of equipment, and it does a pretty good job of doing it. But one thing that Wes found out is that if you ask that question more than once, the response is different.
and not necessarily different, wrong, but like it's almost like a you talk to somebody in the South versus someone in the North. They're saying the same words, but their dialects you can hear it differently. It's kind of the same thing. Like their response will be it'll be formatted in a different way where it could look incorrect, but it may functionally be right. You know, it's kind
Got
of
it.
weird.
You're cool.
We'll get it down. I've got a backup idea that we've been trying to avoid using, but
Yeah.
we'll probably end up having to do that.
Do you guys have a deadline or a date where you might be able to kind of reveal, or is it just simply when it's done? When it's done, you'll be able to talk about it.
Well, we hope to have it done by the time I leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is the hope.
well, I understand that part, but I mean, at least as far as showing it off
Oh,
or
yeah.
announcing.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
see
Is
it.
this gonna be a video for either one of you?
Mhm.
Okay,
Both?
cool.
I'm not sure.
Do you want to do a video about it?
We haven't really said how we're divvied up, but it'll
Yeah.
probably be on his channel.
I mean, we're getting shots and stuff, the whole process. So
Well, there you go.
yeah,
Apparently, myself, like, only if I put Kerbal Space Program related videos on my channel does it actually get any traction. So the last video,
That was a fun video though.
well, that video is already, it's only been up for like 20 hours, and it's
Yeah.
already got almost 3 times the amount of views as my previous video. That's
Yeah.
been out for, like, what would I say, 16 months
Yeah.
or something like that.
Well, KSP2 is kind of like
It is the hotness right now.
current. Yeah,
I understand that, but it's a little frustrating.
well, you can tell. Like, what was it?
Oh yes. So,
Yeah.
for those of you that have played Kerbal Space Program 2 or the first one, this new update or the new version they have like this functionality where you can colorize different components, and you also are allowed to allow different components to like clip within each other. So, using those two different capabilities, you can sort of do like a 3D model. And you can like create things using different engines, different components in creative ways. So I actually created one of the little characters, the Kerbal guys. They look like little green minions, basically. And I created one out of rocket ship parts that he actually has like rocket engines for legs and nozzles for feet. So he actually flies and he has like a Superman pose. And I gave him a jetpack, and the jetpack detaches, and then I put a parachute in his hand so he like falls down like Mary Poppins or something like that. And then I made his head detach too. So originally I was going to make like several stages where once he gets to the top of, the jetpack, then it detaches, and he can actually still keep going. That works. But then I tried to put another engine in his neck, so his head detached and his head kept going like even further. And that was just very unpredictable and weird. So I just made it so it fell off when you hit the ground. But I've been posting on a couple of different KSP subreddits and Facebook posts. I'm trying to hopefully get it like featured. They're pretty good about community like sharing like different people's builds and stuff. So hopefully we'll see. But if not, it's still super fun. It looks better than my first attempt, and it's surprisingly accurate for what I had to work with. But it's a lot of fun. And they also released the newest patch, the first patch for KSP 2, because the initial launch was pretty buggy. And the early reviews so far is that's like what people were hoping for the first time around. It only took like a couple weeks to get there. So if you're on the fence about getting it, but you still want to support them, and you're okay with dropping $50 on an early access game, which can be a deal breaker for some, understandably, you might want to jump in and see what you can do in there. It's pretty fun. You just have to have somewhat of a good computer to run it, because it's pretty taxing because it's not optimized yet. And so even on a pretty good system, it can get like 10 FPS when you're launching. So it's kind of, it can be a little rough. But
do you think that's mainly because it's the customizability requires a lot of calculation and basically physics of how things are going to act? Is that kind of the
Particle
reason?
physics.
yeah, and it's basically a giant physics simulation. So like when you attach all these different things together, it's got to calculate how they move within respect to each other. And also, some data miners have actually gotten a hold of the install files and whatnot, and like kind of dove into them, and they could see that the game has way more functionality. So when they talk about this early access game, they had like this roadmap of things they wanted to accomplish along the way, and among those are multiplayer and colonization of other star systems and all these like far out things, which made a lot of people really excited about this prospect of the second game. But the state that it was in when it was released in early access is all that stuff is sort of not available right now. It's just like the very bare bones. But they started going into the code, and they noticed all the assets and functionality is there for a lot of the stuff, but they sort of put up these like fake block, basically they corralled your experience into like this little corner. So a lot of people think that the game is doing a lot more behind the scenes. that you can't even like mess with right now because it's sort
Got
of
it.
like firewalled in a way. And over time I think they'll improve it. But yeah, for the optimum experience, they recommend a 4000 series GPU, which is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I have half that.
yeah, same.
Yep. All right. Well, I think it's about time to get into our topic for the night.
Let's
What
do
you
it.
guys
I
say?
can talk about KSP all night. So you don't want me to...
I know. I'm taking.
I saw you like your eyes
chance
start
to-
glazing over, and you're like, "Oh God, here he goes."
No, it's actually not glazing over. It's like a little bit of jealousy because I just started playing the first one and I'm really enjoying it.
Good,
So
nice.
I'll get there someday possibly. All right, so our topic for tonight I think is going to be kind of fun, and it's a simple idea, and it's basically pitting one thing against another thing. So like this or that. We'll take two things that have something in common to compare, and I guess the three of us will kind of vote which one we prefer. And since there's only three of us, I think it'll be kind of fun because it'll always end up with like a 2 against 1 type thing, or all three of us choosing the same thing. So. And for everybody that's in the live chat right now, we're also fielding some additional suggestions, which we already have about 5 or 6 good ones. So we'll be pulling from those as well. Should I just go ahead and start since I probably have the biggest list at the moment? Actually, one of you guys said this earlier. Twizzlers versus Red Vines.
Twizzlers.
Really? No, red vines. And I think part of the my justification.
I forget which one's softer.
Red vines.
Oh, Red Vine.
So part of my justification for saying red vines over Twizzlers is that red vines were always at the drive-in. Twizzlers were something you got from the store, but if like you went out to a movie, like at the movie theater or the drive-in theater especially, because like that is what I remember them for. It was always red vines. And so I always associate red vines with going out to see movies. And so there's a bit of nostalgia to it. But I would definitely say red vines over Twizzlers.
I'm gonna have to revisit that. I'm not really like a diehard Twizzlers fan, but it just might be the exposure that I had to them when I was a kid. I just had Twizzlers, so I'll have to investigate.
Okay, really quick. Related to that, red licorice or black licorice?
Oh, that's easy.
Red.
Black.
Okay.
Can't stand black.
This is not a surprise
stand.
considering the snack that you've been like lunching on. That's freaking my kids out.
I know. So like
What's that?
I went to the store and got just several bushes of radishes, and it just snacking on radishes. Like I eat.
Are you a rabbit?
No, apparently, but I do that, and his kids are like, "Why are you doing that? That's gross." I'm like, "What do you mean it's gross? Is it the crunchy? Is it the deliciousness you don't like? Why don't you like radishes?" But yeah,
Are you digging in the backyard to like?
he has a garden. Eventually, there might be radishes back there. Yeah.
Apparently, I need to make some in the garden for you to come out.
But no, so like I love black licorice because I love anise, and so there's a lot.
Wait,
I'm sorry, what?
Wait,
Anise.
Wait, you might want to rephrase this. I don't know what you're talking about.
So-
It sounds-
Anus?
No, anise. Anise is a seed that
not what it said. They didn't change the name.
the black licorice gets its flavor from. It's also seeds that are often used in like a lot of Indian cooking.
Yeah, that's why I don't like black licorice. Then
I don't know why. I hear a lot of people say that black licorice tastes like medicine. I don't know what medicine tastes like black licorice because apparently I never had it. I don't associate black licorice with medicine. Like what medicine tastes like black licorice?
I don't know. I don't associate it with medicine.
I do. but
Anise? Did I say it wrong? Anise.
I hope so.
Is it? Okay, anise. I'll say anise from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like on that note, like ginger. I hate ginger because for me it
love
tastes
ginger.
like soap. I always think it tastes like soap.
How are you? Are you eating the ginger raw, or are you having it processed somehow?
Well, like, so we eat sushi sometimes. We'll get it from,
I think ginger with sushi is good. I don't think it tastes like soap at all.
I think it tastes like soap.
What about cilantro? Do you taste soap there?
No.
That's like a hereditary thing, apparently.
So I don't know what it is. My daughter and I had
How
this.
much soap have you had? Didn't know.
Well, when I was a kid and I used to back talk to my mom,
Was it
I used to get my
radish-flavored soap?
mouth washed out with soap.
Okay.
And apparently the soap tasted like ginger because I, like, to this day, whenever I taste ginger, I'm like, ugh, it tastes like soap.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting connection there then.
Apparently. Yeah, I had soap but didn't have cold medicine, so I like black licorice and don't like ginger.
Huh. So that was like your corporal punishment, was the ginger soap?
Ginger soap?
To me, stairs taste like soap. I mean, wait, what? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think I had a stroke or something.
I think I know what you were going for.
No, I just
you
didn't quite
get
work.
there.
No, I think, yeah. Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways. How about strawberry jam versus grape jelly?
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Not a fan of artificial grape.
I would honestly choose orange marmalade over both of those, though. I have let's keep on the food one for another one. So, how about Hydrox versus Oreo?
Oreo.
I have never had Hydrox.
Hydrox.
Really? Where can you get Hydrox? Like, I always hear this debate, and it's a popular podcast topic.
Phil Edwards did a video on it.
Yeah,
we can get him in Richmond. We'll have to do it. We'll have to go get some from him.
Yeah, I mean, I love Oreos, but I'd be very interested.
I don't know if they still exist, but I remember having them as a kid, and I think they tasted fundamentally better than Oreo. And I think it's. So I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but there's certain things that I have, food-wise, now as an adult that taste different to me than when I was younger. So I don't know if the chemical compound has changed or the formula's changed, or if it's my taste buds that have changed, or maybe a combination of both. But I remember Hydrox tasting better than Oreo. And I don't think Oreos taste that good anymore. Not as good anymore.
Even with the 13 different flavors that they've got going on right now?
Well, I haven't not explored any of that. I can't really metabolically afford to. So
they're terrible.
Except the most Oreos. Those are insanely good.
All the ones that are like
it's like Oreo
quintuple
Inception.
stuffed.
It's cookies and cream filling in an Oreo, and it's like a triple stuff. It's crazy. It's too good. Yeah.
That sounds like cheating.
It's yeah. It's like a space-time continuum kind of breaking thing.
Okay, I have one more food one.
Do it.
Kind of. Mug root beer versus A&W root beer.
Neither.
Oh.
Okay. Or Dad's.
I hate both of them. No.
Okay.
I'd rather have Barks than any of those.
Okay. I forgot there was a fourth. Oh, well.
There's like a bajillion. Man,
I don't drink
A&W.
root beer that often, so. Okay.
Yeah, A&W. Mug was way too foamy.
Yeah, I think I preferred that as a kid, A&W. Yeah.
I remember drinking A&W.
They also have good burgers.
We still have an A&W restaurant around here. It's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's see. Do you want to keep with within categories of things, or do you just want me to bounce around?
I think categories are probably good, just for somewhat of organization.
Okay. Let's go into like a couple gaming related ones. Where is it? Console versus PC.
Oh god, that's hard.
PC.
See, I fall into console.
I think console. Not modern console though. If it's modern console, I'll do PC.
Okay.
But if it's like
N64
classic or older,
I think classic console is kind of hard to out differently at this point because of different factors.
Yeah.
But I've always been a PC gamer because I've always had my own computer and I rarely had access to the TV. So I think that's kind of a default for me.
Yeah, for me, it was always the fact that it's like games that were cross-platform that you could play on both the computer and the console always played better on the console. Because the console is like specifically made for gaming, whereas the computer wasn't originally.
sometimes.
But
They made StarCraft for N64, and that was not the ideal game platform for that game.
Yeah, I mean that. I don't think that was
There are
universal.
anomalies, yeah.
Part of it depended on what kind of game, though, too.
Yeah,
Xbox versus PlayStation.
Xbox.
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Why Xbox? I'm curious.
I never.
Is it because you
I never
haven't
had
played?
a PlayStation.
You've never had. Okay. That would be good justification if he's never had a PlayStation.
I've never had an Xbox.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
I've had both, and I would definitely say PlayStation.
I don't like the controllers.
Just because the caliber of games, I think, is a lot better on PlayStation than on Xbox. I think Xbox is good for like community games, like multiplayer games, whereas like PlayStation has just better games.
We have a gaming one recommended from the chat. Space Invaders or Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Oh. Man, why do these questions gotta be hard? Yeah, Pac-Man. I would say Pac-Man. Just because you had a sense of progression, whereas Space Invaders just felt like the same thing over and over and over again.
Yep.
I mean, not that Pac-Man was it, but the levels changed.
Rock Band versus Guitar Hero.
Rock Band for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Rock Band.
Yeah. Simply because you could do like other stuff like drums and
I
things.
preferred singing actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know it, but yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, I wouldn't have guessed that for you, Wes. That's cool.
Yeah. I'll have to break it out so I can torture you guys when you're here.
Hey, we could do that in our
We could.
episode 300 event.
We could.
So it'll be a concert,
Yeah, it'll be a concert. Our own version of karaoke night.
and we'll get a copyright strike for
That's right.
posting on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Steam versus Epic Games.
Steam. Like the platform, you mean?
Yeah, you're talking
Yeah,
the platform, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy, Steam.
Yeah, Steam.
Steam. Okay, I have a hard one. Maybe this will be the last one for gaming for right now until others come up. Mario versus Zelda.
Mario.
Okay, I know I'm wearing a Mario t-shirt right now. Zelda. That's kind of a no-brainer for me.
Mario.
Really?
I've played Zelda games for all of maybe 2 hours in my entire life. I've not played much more than that, but I don't know. I think I gravitate a little bit more towards Mario. Yep.
Yeah. So if they made animated Mario and animated Zelda, and you went to the movie theater, and like you can either head down Concourse A to go see the Mario movie, down Concourse B go see the Zelda movie, you would go see the Mario movie.
No. Because I've seen Mario movies before, and they're garbage.
No, but I mean it's like so
I've
much
not
more.
seen a Zelda movie.
Yeah, the Mario movie coming out. Say they made both. They made like same style, animated style and stuff like that, and you had to pick. Okay, I want to go see this movie or go see this movie. Would you go see Mario or Zelda?
I think I would choose Mario still.
I
Really?
would still choose Zelda, I think, for that.
Interesting. Okay.
The variety of characters in the world for Mario seems just kind of fun. Zelda seems like an adventure film that I've seen before.
That's fair.
It is fair. Yeah.
But I mean, we all know that we're all going to see both anyways. So,
Yeah.
you guys have any that you want to pepper in before I change categories on us here?
Sure. Board games or card games?
That's a tough distinction because
Mm-hmm.
I like
Because
I
some
think
board games can use cards or something.
Yeah, and so many games on the market right now are simply just cards with different faces on it. I'll say board game.
I would say card games.
Board game.
I mean, maybe it's because my kids and the age that they're at, because we have lots of board games and card games seem to go over better than board games. Usually because board games have a lot more to them
Yeah, I
than
mean
card
that
games.
that's a big factor though. I mean, card games it's easier to get set up usually, and the rule sets are usually easier to get through. I tried playing a board game about 6 months ago with my daughter and my son, and it took us an hour and a half reading instructions. It was really complicated. We never played it. We put it back in the box and put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I spent a lot of time on TikTok recently, and like I've delved into board talk, or the board game side of TikTok, and some of the board
I didn't know
games.
there was a board game side.
Yeah, well, there's like book talk and cook talk and like all these. They're
I
like
guess I'm not surprised, but I haven't seen
subreddits of TikTok. But the board games ones, man, some of those board games they look incredible. And every time I look at those, I'm like, man, we would lose all those pieces.
Yeah, I chose board game, but I mean, honestly, looking back, I think in recent memory, my favorite game is a card game, which is Codenames, which is not typically a card game. It's almost card games you play on a table, so it's. I don't know.
It is still a card game, though.
It is still a card game, sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you have a favorite board game?
I would say, just out of nostalgia, is Stratego.
Really?
Yeah.
Stratego is awesome. I have a Stratego project coming up.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
And what about you, Sean?
As far as favorite board game?
Yeah.
I think it would be one I've only played a couple times. Not nearly as many as I want to play. It's called Downforce. It's a racing game that involves betting, and it's a really beautiful looking board with the track and everything. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to describe otherwise, but every time I played it, I've absolutely loved it, and I want to play more.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes a little bit of a time commitment, like 30 minutes for the game, and to make sure everybody's kind of on board for it.
That's cool.
Art gallery or history museum?
That is a great one.
I would say History Museum.
I would say history museum.
Yeah?
I'd say art gallery. I get bored in history museums really quickly. That's not how I want to experience history.
I guess they both could fall under history.
Well, no, I'm not saying the art gallery is a representation of history.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in and of itself, a history museum is great to see some of these artifacts, but it's really static for me. It's like there's, I could read the card or whatever else, but that's kind of like it.
Right.
Until they integrate like a really good VR component with it, or AR.
Yeah, AR.
That'd be cool.
That would completely transform it for me.
Oh man, with like video overlays and you can like see the people. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. That has to be the future of it. I say has to, but whatever.
Yeah.
Any others, or should I kind of?
You can change. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do some movie-related ones.
Oh, that's good.
Vin Diesel or The Rock?
Rock.
I'm gonna say Vin Diesel just to be an outlier.
Just to throw it up.
Because I'm all about family.
Oh Jesus.
I think The Rock's gotten too big for his britches lately. Woody versus Buzz.
Man, I thought these were gonna be easy. Come on. Woody.
Woody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be contrarian on that one. Woody.
Giggity. Yeah. Batman versus Superman. Sorry, Batman or Superman. I mean, or else I could have said like
Martha.
Martha, yeah. Exactly.
I'm Superman.
Superman. Oh,
Wow.
that's
Unless it's Lego, and then Lego Batman, hands down.
Will Arnett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm there too.
Mm.
It's weird. I wasn't expecting all three of us to be Superman. Why?
Why?
That's a good question.
I like things that give you a sense of hope
Yeah.
in humanity in the future. And Batman is not. Batman is very good for being like, this is, I mean,
Pragmatic.
yeah.
I like
Dramatic.
Batman.
seedy,
too.
like showing the underbelly of, you know, the world around you and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Superman is, you know, classically and traditionally about, you know, hope.
I think Batman's definitely more interesting as a character because there's more going on there. But I don't know, for some reason I like the Stark good versus evil, Superman being good kind of thing. And weirdly, I look at a lot of like photos when I was a kid, and I always had a Superman shirt on, so I must have just been like all about it, and it just sort of stuck.
I dressed as Superman for Halloween at least twice. I grew up in a very idealistic household with a hopefully a clear definition of right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm right there too. Yeah, interesting.
You would think, like, all three of us being makers, that we would gravitate more towards Superman. I mean, Batman, but
That actually never came up in my head as a reasoning why. It's interesting.
Here's a good one: Iron Man versus Cap.
You know what's funny is
Did it
my
change?
reason for this
Yeah.
is starkly different than the Superman defense.
Is there a pun there?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead and make it because if
You already
I
did.
might have
You
missed
said
it.
Starkly.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Happy
so
accident.
in Civil War, like, were you Team Cap or
Yeah.
Team Iron Man?
In Civil War, I'm Team Cap.
Team Cap.
Iron Man,
Yeah.
all the way.
Because the ideology, or like,
So I think that Superman is a reflection of my adolescent self,
Oh.
and Iron Man is a reflection of my adult self.
interesting. Okay.
I need to write that down. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
interesting.
good. That's good. That's good.
I need to tell my therapist about that.
I need to put that in my journal.
I was expecting to get deep on that.
Yeah, that's good. That is a good way. Yeah. That's deep, man. I like it.
Okay, Namor versus Aquaman. Aquaman.
In what context?
I don't really care that much about Namor, to be honest.
I'm just gonna say I actually don't care.
Yeah. I mean, it's neither here nor there. Here nor there. Yeah.
I think the depiction of Namor in the movies and the civilization was better than what they did with Atlantis and Aquaman.
Agreed. I would pick Namor for that reason. That's why I was saying, in what context? Because Aquaman, like, is kind of silly.
I grew up with seeing Aquaman like in cartoons and stuff. Never really seeing Namor kind of depicted, so I don't know. That doesn't really change my answer, but anyways. Darth Vader or Voldemort?
Vader.
Vader before episode 1. When he was still a
That's
very
fair.
enigmatic character that inspired fear.
Yeah. Between the two, Rogue One, Darth Vader, peak Darth Vader.
Rogue One, Darth Vader. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I find Voldemort interesting, but
It's
still
kind of
Vader.
one note, kind of boring to me.
Yeah, there's some depth that should be there that I think ended up lacking in a small sense.
Ooh, Hogwarts or Narnia?
That is a really good one. Hogwarts.
I am Narnia, hands down.
Really?
Oh, man. Yeah.
I am shocked.
Oh,
In the mood for some Turkish delights, are you?
yeah, exactly. No, Narnia.
Wow, that actually really surprised me. I thought you were like Potterhead all the way.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Love Harry Potter.
No, I know you like it, but wow.
But if I had to choose, Narnia.
I'd have to choose Lord of the Rings because I don't have any interest in either one of those.
I mean, I've read all the Narnia books, and they just do not connect for me at all. And
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you which universe would you rather live in? Middle Earth, the Wizarding World, or Narnia?
Okay, we need to deal out some conditions here. If we live in the Wizarding World, are we a wizard?
Yes. Otherwise,
What's the
you
point?
wouldn't know about
Yeah.
the Wizarding
It
World.
would just be like a normal world.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So, Wizarding World, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Are we human in Lord of the Rings?
If you want to be.
I think your life expectancy is really short in Lord of the Rings.
I know.
Unless you're a wizard from outer space or something, then you're pretty much not going to live that long.
Yeah,
Unless you're an elf, I guess.
humans are not.
Humans, no, they have a bad card dealt to them in that. No, no, you're somebody's lunch like the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, humans in Lord of the Rings are like, hey, this is what's wrong with the world.
Basically.
You are the what's wrong with the world.
I love the scope of the land in Lord of the Rings. Just the majesty of, But I do like the lore of the Wizarding World.
If I could be a wizard, yeah, I'd probably be Wizarding World. Because I would be like, oh, what is the guy in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? He's like, man, that is so cool. Magic is cool. I want to be a wizard.
Oh, like a muggle?
No, but like that attitude of being like, man, magic is so cool.
Oh.
Who would win in a fight, Gandalf or Harry Potter at peak strength?
Harry Potter's a horrible wizard.
Well, what's the comparable wizard? Is it just Dumbledore? Just
Dumbledore.
because they look the same?
No, because I think they'd be on a similar level. It's
Would
actually
they?
it's a more level comparison. So Dumbledore versus Gandalf.
Man. So, I love Gandalf. But Gandalf doesn't do a lot of magic. Whereas Dumbledore just drips like magic.
I would almost have to say Dumbledore.
Yeah, I'd probably say Dumbledore too.
Yeah, I've never heard of Gandalf flying away on a phoenix.
That's fair.
All right, so I guess to kind of finish up this, or maybe transition slightly, but still related. Wands versus lightsabers.
Lightsabers.
Okay, are we talking that this person has the Force?
Yes.
Well, it's just like saying you have a wand but no magic skill.
Well, I know, but it's like non-Jedi can use lightsabers, right?
The instrument in and of themselves, right? But if you're not a Jedi or if you're not a Force user, you're not going to have quite that same skill with the lightsaber, anyways.
Because I mean, like wand is it is a distance weapon. You can hit somebody from a distance. Lightsabers, you have to be up close.
You can throw
so
it.
I would pick wand because I don't want to get close to you. I'm gonna stupefy you from like 40 yards away.
I'm going to pick a wand so I can summon a lightsaber when I need it.
Oh, jeez. It's like you wish for more wishes, huh?
Yes. Damn right. Blade Runner versus The Matrix.
Blade Runner.
The Matrix.
Uh,
It might even be that great of a comparison. I just thought it'd be interesting.
no, that's very good. I think it's a good one. I think the Matrix, because then I can like load out with all kinds of skills and stuff.
Or are we talking like in
girls
the
like
world
guys with skills,
or just movies?
You're in the. I don't know. You're just in the environment.
Sean, what like are we talking like? Would you rather go to Blade Runner or The Matrix, or are we talking? Hey, which series was better?
Answer both.
Oh, in the world, The Matrix, yeah, for sure. Movie, I would say Blade Runner though.
Although when you're not in the Matrix, that world sucks.
Yep. That's why you take the blue pill.
That's right. That's right.
Actually, I want to hear the chat kind of respond to this one too. Baby Groot versus Grogu.
Grogu for sure.
I'm picking Grogu.
I would never. I still don't want to call him Grogu. But I
His
would
name,
pick
bro.
Grogu.
Got to. What did you say?
It's always it will be
Groggle?
forever Baby Yoda.
No.
I think Grogu is just the weirdest name
It is weird. I
to
agree.
give like what is hands down like one of the most iconic characters.
I don't think it's that weird of a name. And I think that it is weird, helps it in a way.
You know, like all the characters still make fun of it because they know it's a bad name. It's like a thing now.
Yeah.
Cause like,
Oh yeah, because he's like
she's like,
Grogu. I'm not calling you that.
That's why they still call it the child.
right. The
Which,
chosen
I
one.
mean, whatever. I had another one here. I just lost my place. Oh. Armageddon versus Deep Impact.
Armageddon.
Soundtrack Armageddon.
Yeah, you don't want to miss a thing.
Don't want to miss it. Yeah.
I pick Armageddon, even though my wife hates that movie. But it's the Bruckheimer film that has some fun with the cast. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yep.
I'm kind of running low.
Young Frankenstein or Spaceballs?
Spaceballs.
I'm Young Frankenstein.
I'm torn. But you know what? I think I enjoy Young Frankenstein a little bit more. I watched Spaceballs again recently, and I don't care to see it in a very long time.
Like the humor in Young Frankenstein is just it's on point. Like the
It's a
humor in
look-
Spaceballs, it's a little in your face.
I think Young Frankenstein is a little bit more timeless, but just by a little.
Just by a little.
Yeah.
Pulling out that VHS tape dates it a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Spaceballs, the movie.
DC animation versus Marvel animation.
Before Enter the Spider-Verse, that would have been an easy question to answer.
That's Sony animation though.
But it's still Marvel.
Technically it is, but it's
DC animation.
DC animation. They're still killing it with so many of the
Yeah.
properties coming with.
Batman the animated series, Teen Titans, like it's so
You
good.
guys see Batman versus the Ninja Turtles?
Yes, I've seen that.
That was pretty good. Yeah. DC movies versus Marvel movies.
Flip side to that, I'd pick Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
They helped themselves recently, though.
right.
What are the ones you guys have? My list is starting to run a little bit slim.
Ooh, laser cutter or 3D printer?
Why didn't we think about that one earlier? We should have. Or CNC. We'll make it a three-way.
Oh, you can't do that. That's not fair.
3D printer.
Really?
Yeah, because you can use the 3D printer to build the other ones. Boom.
I think I'm contractually obligated to say laser cutter. As long as you don't say 3D laser printer.
Man, I would probably say laser cutter too, just because I enjoy the laser cutter more than the other two, but I feel like CNC is more, like it's way more versatile in terms of what you can do with it.
Wow, we're split evenly on that one. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, lightsaber or dark saber? I saw that one in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I don't even fully understand the dark saber.
In my house, apparently we don't either, because I was under the assumption that you had to be a Force user in order to use the dark saber. Which is why Din Djarin has been having such a hard time, like, using it, lifting it, swinging it, right?
I don't know.
Correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
don't know enough about the cartoon series to have a good answer for that, since most of its lore is based in the cartoons. So
Because Din
Maybe-
Djarin has been
he struggles with it, but they already
Yeah.
sort of addressed that because you're like not one with the.
not one with the saber.
Yeah, whatever kind of bullshit crap.
Sounds like the Force in a way, though.
It kind of does.
But Bo-Katan,
Yeah.
does that... I don't know. I thought the whole point of the Darksaber was that it was not directly connected to the Jedi, and that's why it was like the Mandalorian type thing, even though it's using the saber type name. See, I don't understand what's special about it, other than it looks cool. I don't know if it's supposed to be special in another way. I don't know if the what's the crystal in it called?
Kyber.
Kyber.
I don't know if the Kyber crystal is different to actually give it that color. I think we have to do some research before we can actually get back on that one. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we've had this debate in my house, and apparently, like, we don't. There's something about it that we're not.
I mean, because other than it looks really cool, I don't know
Yeah.
anything special about it.
What color lightsaber would you have?
I think green.
Yeah.
I think green. Yep.
I kind of like orange
Yeah, orange.
from.
Who wields
Jedi.
an orange one?
It's in Jedi. The what is it called? The game that Kyle Kestis.
Oh, Cal Kestis? I've
Yeah.
not played the game yet.
Dark Forces?
No.
No, not Dark Forces.
Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi
Yeah,
Order?
Fallen
Order. Yeah, he has an
Fallen
orange
Order.
one, and that's the first time I had ever like really seen one. I'm like, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool.
yeah.
Did they ever retcon the colors that the colors actually mean something, or are they simply just different colors?
I think just the builder just
Yeah.
chooses them. I don't think they do anything.
It all depends on the crystal.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of a lost
it's meh.
point.
Yeah,
I always thought it should have been like a reflection of your relationship with the Force.
I think that would have been cool.
I mean, traditionally, that has been, that
Right, you're not going to see a good Jedi, using a red one.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the underlying meaning of the red has to do with that.
Just because I thought it looks cool.
Maybe
I don't know.
I guess I don't know. It's a good point.
Although that said, like, my favorite Jedi is Ahsoka Tano, and her lightsabers are white.
Well, they are now. They weren't originally.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. And
And
that's pretty cool too.
And Vader used a blue one originally, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not set
yeah.
in stone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I have a couple more here. Although some of them go back to food and some of them kind of like are random.
Right.
So I guess let's do some random ones then. NASA versus SpaceX.
NASA.
SpaceX.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Because they're
only because
current?
No, I'll give this reasoning for it. And this kind of goes to, if we were going to compare Tesla to another car company too, is that the strides that SpaceX has made and the attention that they've gotten has helped to push other things forward where they're in competition or seeing what is now possible to now go forward with.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Donuts versus scones.
Donuts.
Is that a debate?
I was trying to
donuts.
I was trying to think of what to compare
Bear-
donuts to.
bear
and
claws?
Sure.
I don't know. Still donuts.
Yeah, it's still a donut.
Okay, what type of donut for you guys?
Krispy Kreme original glazed, hands down. No contest.
I can't stand Krispy Kreme.
Plain cake, hands down.
Like fresh ones, not from like a grocery store.
Can't stand them.
Really?
Too sweet?
No, it's actually, to be honest, it's from a very, very gluttonous perspective.
Because you eat too many and you got sick of them?
Because if I eat one, it doesn't feel like I ate anything.
Okay. That's okay, because that's the excuse to just eat more.
That doesn't fix it.
You don't feel like there's any substance to them. They're too
In
light.
a way,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's because it's why I like old fashions. Because when I eat it, I can only have one. It feels like a bomb in my stomach, and I'm done.
So like glazed old fashions, plain old fashions, chocolate old fashions, like.
Well, I'll eat all of them equally, but I like glazed old fashions or plain with chocolate on it. I'm not. I mean, come on, I'm not selective. It's obvious. There's not a whole lot of room left around me on the frame. Burritos versus tacos.
Oh.
Tacos.
What? That's it. Podcast is over.
I mean, rice can only do but so much. Like, what else does that have going for it?
Burrito.
Really?
You know, a taco kind of feels like somebody started and they gave up and just kind of folded it in half. It feels extremely lazy. I don't want to take a bite of it and have it crumble apart or things fall out the other side.
So crispy taco or soft taco?
If I had to go taco, it's
Crispy.
street taco.
Crispy.
Crispy? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about the
It's
crispiness.
more interesting.
Yeah.
You guys would be chastised here in Southern California. You'd be like heretics.
I know.
um, Coke versus Pepsi.
Coke. But if we're just it's like one of those, like, if you start breaking down into, like, sub brands that they own kind of thing, it'd be harder. Because Mountain Dew, well, then you have Mountain Dew versus Surge, and it's obviously Surge. So I guess it's still Coke.
Yeah, probably Coke.
A weird thing is, if I had answered this question about 10 years ago, it would have been Pepsi, but it's Coke now.
Really?
Taco is an edible plate. Come on. I love that.
Well, like a tostada is an even lazier taco they just forgot to fold. Indian food versus Chinese food.
Chinese.
Indian. Oh, yellow curry or masaman.
Indian food is fantastic. And this question isn't even really fair because there's so many different factors that go in. Like, we know what dishes, where's the food from. But I've had some fantastic Indian food.
Is it authentic Chinese food, Americanized Chinese food?
I do have a very limited palate as far as, like, Chinese food in general, though, so it's probably not fair. And Indian, to be honest. So maybe I just haven't explored both enough. I'm kind of set in my ways, like, with Chinese food, so it's like.
What's your favorite Indian dish, Sean?
None of your business.
It's a toss-up between tandoori chicken and just curry chicken.
Yeah.
And I love curry. Curry is fantastic. I love samosas and everything. There's a place in Vegas when I go to visit my parents we go to, and I can't get enough of it. Especially like the rice, the curry, and the naan. It was really good.
Oh man, masaman was always my favorite, and then I had a vindaloo, and it was so good. I was like, this is probably my new favorite.
I'm not familiar with those dishes. I'll have to look into those.
So masaman is it's like a yellow curry where the base is potatoes instead of
I've had it.
Carrots and
I've had it. I didn't know what it's called.
Yeah.
So some good friends of mine are Hindi, and when they got married, the family is vegetarian. So at that one gathering, everything was vegetarian. So I think I tried it at that point. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
You guys have any more to finish up? The last couple I have are kind of like not even that great, so I can skip those. Vans versus Converse.
I say Vans.
I think Vans, they're more comfortable.
Because my toes spread wider
Vans.
than normal shoes, and Converse are always too narrow.
Although when I had the Geeksmithing branded Converse, they were pretty sweet. I wore those things out when we, from Boston. I wish I had another pair of them, actually. But they weren't very comfortable. I just wore them because I liked the look of them more than the comfort.
Let's throw some maker beef in here. Colin Firth versus Mark Rober.
Colin, for sure.
I gotta say Mark Rober.
Are we talking about the actual, person that makes their own things or not?
No, just the videos. The videos as a product.
That's
let's
a shot. Shots fired.
I mean, we're talking about maker channels, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I mean,
the videos as a product, not the individual people, because that's going to be another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Based on things we've heard.
As a product, I would say Mark Rober, but I don't know. From a personality, I prefer not Mark Rober.
Yeah.
There's stuff that's been said over the last couple of months that changed my opinion on some of that stuff, unfortunately.
Although I think I would get exhausted if I hung out with Colin too long, though. Honestly, he's a pretty high energy guy.
I mean, I've met Mark, and so like I've seen him off camera to know his personality, like in person and personality on camera. Like Colin, I haven't met. Have you met Colin in person? Have you met Colin in person?
No. No.
I would not think that is his personality off camera. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But I don't know. If that was his personality, I could see where it would be. You'd be like, man, I can't keep up with you.
I think that's about it. There's a couple more I have on here, but don't know if you guys want to. If you have any more, if you want to go ahead and start transitioning.
Dowel or biscuit? Oh.
What is dowel?
So
what can you put on a dowel
joints
to make it very good?
Oh,
so dowels or biscuits?
I was thinking food.
What is a dowel?
Sorry, I haven't had dinner yet. I'm getting hungry.
I'm gonna say pocket holes.
Yeah, but you use dowels to fill pocket holes, so.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, yeah, I can see that.
That's not. I didn't do that.
Biscuits.
Dowels, because I don't have a biscuit joiner. I've never used them.
Tried them once, and I'm like, oh, I can't go back to anything else. Domino.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
That's like a biscuit and a a dowel and a biscuit mixed together, right?
It's a biscotti.
It's a biscotti.
It's a Biscoff.
So, what are you guys geeking out about?
I was just gonna say the Dungeons and Dragons thing we're watching. I'm kind of geeking out about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. This is my first time going to see a movie with somebody else in a very, 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 very long time.
Like other than your family?
Well, yeah, even with my family, like we haven't gone out to the movies in forever. Like seriously, forever. And anytime I travel and I'm like by myself, like I'll go out to watch a movie, but it's always by myself. This is like the first time I've gone out with anybody to see movies. I can't even remember. I seriously can't remember the last time. I'm so excited for that. Yeah.
I'm geeking out about a movie trailer that I just saw today because I'm kind of a sucker for these types of movies. I like origin stories, especially like the origin stories of like different companies. There's a trailer that came out for a movie about BlackBerry, and which I didn't think I had any interest in at all. The BlackBerry phone, and how that kind of started up because they were the first real smartphone in a lot of ways. And I didn't know that there was any kind of drama in the development of that company. If the trailer is actually depicting it honestly, or somewhat honestly of what was going on behind the scenes, it should be somewhat interesting. Starring Jay Baruchel, if anybody knows that name. Trying to think about what else. He usually plays on like a lot of movies with Seth Rogen. He also played the main wizard sorcerer thing in the Sorcerer's Apprentice movie with Nick Cage. But yeah, it looks interesting. I love this type of movies. So that is what I am geeking out about.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I know who it is. How to Train Your Dragon voice actor.
Yes.
Guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, yes.
Jay Baruchel is his name.
Oh, that's his name. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a podcast that I got turned on to as we've been preparing for this D&D session for my birthday. Because we're coming up with characters and we're talking over this potential campaign that we're going to do for my birthday next month. And so I got turned on to a podcast called Dungeons and Daddies, which is...
It's a great name.
Yeah. It's the guys, it's from Freddie Wong's channel.
Oh, I know who Freddie Wong is.
Yeah. So it's him, like two of his VFX artists and other people. Mm-hmm. And I started listening to episode 1 on the plane, and I felt like such an idiot because I was laughing so hard on the plane and walking through the airport that I was getting looks from people because I was busting up at this podcast. It's a NSFW kind of podcast because it's Freddie Wong and his friends, But man, there are situations that they they go into, and the DM that they have for the campaign that they're doing, it is so funny. It is so funny. And like, if you haven't listened to it, try it out. I can understand if you don't like it, but if you do like it, it is hilarious.
I'll check it out. I'm looking for a new podcast that's a little bit different than the stuff I've been listening to. Yeah. What else? We actually talked about seeing a movie together maybe in a month or two. Do you remember what that was that's coming out?
Guardians
Yeah,
3.
Guardians 3, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that.
I am too.
I'm looking forward to that more than Dungeons and Dragons, honestly. But
yeah.
That's burned me in the past when I've looked forward to Marvel movies as recent times.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Speaking of being burned in the past.
Yes. Exactly. That's actually who I was going to do. I'd like to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/makinggeeks with their contributions every time we release an episode. It helps keep the show going, and apparently they haven't paid enough because the show's not going to go on that much longer. So, ooh, that's a little awkward. Good transition, Wes. I'd like to thank our top patrons. Matthew from How I Do It is a newcomer. Thank you, buddy. Clinton from C3D Prop Shop. Thank you. Square Splinter. Nolan and Jordan Rimple. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah. The like Wes said, the podcast is coming to an end. We are 5 episodes to finish. And after that, you won't be able to hear all of us here together talking about maker stuff, family stuff, geek stuff. But if you want to see all the stuff that we're going to be working on individually, follow us on social media. You can follow Sean over at Geek Builders. You can follow Wes at Geek Smithing. And you can follow myself at Baba Makes or Once Upon a Workbench.
And while we only have a couple episodes left, and if you're not aware of what we're talking about, you want to go back and listen to episode 295. We make the official announcement that episode 300 is going to be our last episode. So you can hear the discussion and explanation in episode 295. And you can listen to that episode along with all of our past episodes on our website on the homepage, makinggeeks.com. And you might want to check out the shop page because some of those items might end up being somewhat vintage in a very short period of time. You might want to consider picking those up and, wearing them to your next maker get-together and say that, you remember back in the day when Making Geeks was a really cool podcast you'd hear on the air. And, of course, we have a contact page that if you'd like to do a shout-out or recommendation for the next couple episodes, you can go ahead and do so there, and that's at makinggeeks.com. I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the live chat with us. It was a lot of fun seeing the chat there today and the recommendations for our this versus that topic. If you'd like to be a part of that fantastic crew, which is going to be kind of like for a limited time, you can do so every Thursday evening on YouTube, and that is 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. I'd like to thank everybody once again for listening, and you can find episodes of the podcast every Saturday morning if you're your favorite podcast player of choice. Have a great week, and we'll see you again soon.
Night, everybody.
Night.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was the